Now, the Pokemon market is evidently a bit all over the place. We're in a slab culture. But if you like sealed and you're looking for stuff to pick up cheap, which I tend to do, it's not really possible in most areas now unless you're going multi-language. But there is still a special set that will get reprinted. I'm going to start this by saying that this will get reprinted and you will be able to get it for retail if you queue the night before at shops. But most people aren't going to do that. So here's a talk about a set that I think you should pick up if you're looking for a really, really good long-term set. That is technically two sets, Black Bolt and White Flare. Now, a lot of people would say 151 Ascended Heroes. 151 has had its day. Whatnot streamers, the likes, have ripped it to the high heavens. It's so expensive. I wouldn't go near it for the cost it's at. If you've got the money to do it, yeah, it'll probably continue to rise, but I'm going to steer clear of that one for now. Ascended Heroes, yes, again, perfect. You'll actually see some of the Black Bolt White Flare products I'm about to say for packs are a similar price as the Ascended Heroes ones. It's pull rates for me. Black Bolt and White Flare are incredible compared to Ascended Heroes for pull rates, but again, yes, if you like Ascended Heroes, buy it. But that'll be printed even longer than Black Bolt and White Flare will be. We've not even seen a UPC for Ascended Heroes apart from terrible AI mock-ups, so maybe one day we will. Speaking of, we never saw one for Black Bolt and White Flare, but let's talk about why I think this set is solid, other than it is the next set that Whatnot streamers, etc. are going to get their hands on, so the bubble will go around when they need to sell products, and this is the most readily available special set other than Ascended Heroes. But if you just take a look at the Zekrom BWR from Black Bolt and White Flare, ungraded, this was around $422 when it came out, and it had a dip in November and January, and now we're just seeing it start to climb. In April of this year, it was back at $470, going all the way to $590. Gone are the days of this being a $380 card. Again, it could still dip with reprints, but what I'm saying is sealed product hasn't gone this same way despite the big chase singles in it going up. The last souls in this are over $500, $600 here. So when a chase is getting that big in a set and sealed products have stayed relatively stable, that's potentially the time to buy. Zekrom's actually outperforming Red Victini in Black Bolt, and Victini was the big chase. It still is, but the Zekrom is now outperforming it. There's also this Seismitoad in there because it's got the 666. There's a big fan base for this card as well. Again, it had that dip earlier this year, but it's back on the rise. We are seeing a slight dip as we approach August here, around a $227 mark. But again, this is just one of the cards in the set. That's expensive. The Zekrom SIR has stayed relatively stable. We've seen that stay around that $230 mark. It's now around the $250 mark, but again, people will catch on and go, you know what, there's some good hit rates in this set. We get IRs for days. There's God packs in this set, and sealed will start to climb. Moving over to White Flare, again, Reshiram, we're looking at a situation where Reshiram comes out, you can get it for around $436. Dips again at the start of this year. This is one of the only sets that dipped around that time, by the way. And it's because there was so much on the horizon with the Mega Block. This was getting slept on then. I wasn't doing market videos back then, but I was saying to people on live streams and things like that, White Flare is getting seriously overlooked. And we are still kind of in that space, but not for much longer. It was around $335 at that time. So again, sealed and singles were perfect to buy then. But I am trying to price this to people who want a sealed market rather than a single market. In June this year, it went back up to $472, and now we see it around that $493 mark. So it's around a $500 card. The Red Victini around $550, so the Red Victini does outperform it. And remember, there's two, so for master setters you need the Black Bolt one and the White Flare one. Okay, so let's have a look at what sealed product has done. Very, very regularly when this came out, it was $75 on the market. Pretty much people were getting it, and we were seeing people immediately charge market price for it. Elite Trainer boxes are starting to be on the rise, around $141 as of July 2026. You can see that curve. We've started to get to the middle of this year, and it started to climb. It's the same with Black Bolt, and Black Bolt has stayed steady since about June. So I would pick up this ETB now if you were looking for the ETB and you didn't have one in your collection. The Pokemon Center ETBs, yes, they will continue to rise, but the promos are terrible. Personal preference, I'm not bothered about having them. I've got a regular White Flare ETB. I don't actually have a Black Bolt ETB. I have the Heavy Hitters style collection, you know, the Unova collection. That's my ETB for Black Bolt, essentially. If you don't mind about whether you get Black Bolt or White Flare packs, this is actually the best pound for pound, dollar to dollar pickup you can get. This works out at about $10.80 per pack. But yes, that's a combination of Black Bolt and White Flare. A little bit later, I'll talk about how to isolate the packs. If you want Black Bolt, you want White Flare. But if you don't mind, this is currently holding at around that 130 mark, and I swear people were charging 150 for this a couple of weeks ago, so get it now. I'm just looking at pack to cost ratio for you guys, and I want to suggest products where you're going to get a decent amount. If you quite like these binder collections, they're decent. They do sit at about £14 a pack though, so you're looking around the $20 mark there, so it's quite high on packs because there's only 5 packs in there, but you do get a binder. The White Flares are a little bit cheaper. You're usually looking anywhere from £5 to $10 cheaper. Again, they're a really cool sealed product to have, but pack price, and that's where I'm going to look at it for you now. Here's my recommendations. Buy some tech stickers. It's a low-end buy-in to this set. They're selling for about £32 in the UK, mainly listing the White Flares. I'm going to price this at £37 because that's the average I'm seeing them go for on the solds. These packs work out at £12.50 each, so around $17, $16.93 to be exact. On the market, they are one of the best pack per pound / dollar price you can get into Black Bolt and White Flare for under the 50 mark. And there's a promo in here. So if you think about added value to this whole thing, with the promo in there, you're doing very, very well. This is what my highlighter's suggestion would be to pick up the Black Bolt and White Flare, because they're relatively inexpensive. You can chuck them in a drawer, or, you know, rip them when you're chasing the good hits. The other one, if you are looking for the exact same sort of price, it's about 20p cheaper per pack on average solds of these Black Bolt and White Flare booster bundles. Again, $17 a pack, 6 packs in that. If you do want to go over that 50 mark, you're looking at the same as the tech sticker collections without the promo though. So if you're looking at buying things in bulk and having quite a lot of Black Bolt and White Flare to open, I would suggest these booster bundles are probably the best pickup for you. White Flare averages about £5 to $8 less as well, so you're looking at even cheaper. And look, I know there's a lot of us out here that still collect because we love the art on Pokemon cards. I play the game as well, but I'm not going to lie, I don't necessarily buy packs to play the game. I will buy singles. But if you look at the overall set of Black Bolt and White Flare, the sets are incredible. If you've stuck around this long in this video, this is where I'm going to give you a little tip. The reason I think this is a good investor set, in terms of just having some bits sealed and maybe, you know, because the market's going the way it is, have a few things to trade in the future. The kids in their early 20s now are the Unova kids, and this set has an illustration rare of every single Unova Pokemon. The Pokemon reboot that Black and White was, each Pokemon is illustrated in these sets. If you're in your early 20s in this economy, you might not have the most money at the minute, but in 5 years time, your picture could look a lot different and this set will be very out of print. Look long term, friends. Look at the people who will be buying in the future, which is why I always preach that we should keep kids in the hobby and not price them out, because otherwise the hobby's screwed. But I'm going to get off my soapbox. Just look at Black Bolt's cards. Got Snivy, Savine, you've got Dimantian that people like, you've got the Bears. I know quite a few people like Cubchoo. I've obviously just shown you all of these as well while I was talking, but the SIRs are stunning. The Superior, the Kyurem, the Meloetta. There had to be a Genesect and an Excadrill in there. I could take them or leave them. I know there's a lot of fans of N out there. The N SIR will be huge for them, and is. White Flare, for my personal taste, might be even better. You've got the little Tepig, who is absolutely adorable. You've got this gorgeous Swordsbook and Deerling cards. You've got the Litwick all the way through to the Chandelure line. These are all illustration rares, by the way. So much easier to pull than the majority of the stuff that is in Ascended Heroes. the main comparison at the minute. Oshawott, amazing. Duot, Samurott. You've got a Duck. You've got Vanillite. I actually think this is the set that I would want to rip in the future because it's got Pokemon that I love a little bit more. Zorora, Zoroark, Dino. It is a cuteness overload as well as some really cool Pokemon. You obviously have the Reshiram SIR in there, Hydreigon EX SIR, Jellicent, the only bloody SIR I've got in White Flare, of course, because I couldn't care for Jellicent, but it's in there. I know there's Keldeo fans out in there. The Hilda is also a very, very cool card, so don't neglect White Flare for Black Bolt, especially while it's cheaper. But yeah, I just see so many things on the internet about where to put your money in Pokemon, etc. My thing will always be put your money into the Pokemon stuff that you enjoy and you like. But I can see Pokemon Black Bolt and White Flare doing really, really well in about 5 years' time. It's going to obviously rise a lot quicker than that, but I'm talking long term. Black Bolt and White Flare could be the set that people absolutely love, especially if the rumors about Pokemon Legends potentially going back to Unova are true. Goodness, there's going to be money there. But yeah, let me know what you think on Black Bolt White Flare. Do you think it's underrated? Do you think it's overrated? Do you think it's rated just fine? I make videos all the time on openings, ripping packs, talking about the market, just generally talking about Pokemon and bringing you news updates and having a chat. So make sure you drop a subscribe and like the video. A big thank you to our credited patron, Zhao Mei. You can join our Patreon for free, and there's obviously membership tiers available in there. In the description, there will be a link. But take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.